What's going on, guys? This is Igal with Kakao Academy channel, and today I'd like to start the first video dedicated to design patterns explained in Java. And the design pattern I would like to discuss today would be builder. So when do we use a builder design pattern? So let's say we have an object that might have a lot of properties, and number of these properties and the properties themselves might vary from use case to use case. Then builder would be quite efficient. It will help us to keep things simple when instantiating the actual object, but at the same time allowing us to use as many options as provided by design. So just to sum up, the goal of builder design pattern is so it separates construction of an object from its final state so that the same creation process can result in various representations. So we might start with creating one, let's say, file reader, for example, or HTTP request body. But based on the actual building steps, in the end we will have a completely different result that would belong to the same data type application of the design pattern. So builder design pattern is used when there is a need for the creation of complex objects. The independence of steps that are responsible for the assembly and the representation must be preserved. Meaning we do have a particular basic number of steps required to create an object, but at the same time these steps might vary from use case to use case. And benefits of using builder design pattern would be keeping the constructor method relatively simple and stripped while allowing further parameter specification by adding additional build steps. Alright, so let's switch to the coding part and see the builder design pattern in action. Thank you. Alright, guys, so let's see how we can benefit from using the builder design pattern by implementing HTTP request and HTTP request builder classes. So let's assume we have a class called HTTP request, and the class has some mandatory fields and some optional fields. So for mandatory fields, let's say it's got private final string. Let's have it host. So we're gonna have port number, then we're gonna have resource path. Okay, and for optional fields, let's say we have private final string sender, keep it simple, and timestamp. Okay, sorry about that, string timestamp. Okay, so let's create a constructor. So we need all these fields here. So first of all, in case we need to provide this flexibility of having certain mandatory and certain optional fields, we would need to create multiple constructors. Additionally, if our list of fields goes on, like for example string, we have some placeholder with parameters. Then what else we're missing? We would like to specify a method. Let's say it can be get, post, delete, put, etc. Yeah, so it becomes more and more cumbersome and complicated. So is there a way to avoid it? Yes. So what do we do about it? So let's create a new class and call it HTTP request builder. Okay, let's copy this and put it here. Okay, so because of these fields being optional, and for the sake of the exercise, we can make these fields optional as well. So let's remove the comments first. We're going to remove the final keyword and only have host, port, and resource path as mandatory fields. Let's create a constructor. Exactly, it's already suggesting us what it needs. So here the most important part, the most important method of this class is going to be public with HTTP request build return value, and here is what we do here. HTTP request equals. So right now our HTTP request is missing some stuff. So let's create the constructor again. Oops, sorry. Okay, but instead of specifying all that, all we have to do is to take HTTP request builder as a parameter. Okay, so let's make it work for all our fields here. We are going to create getters. Okay, so far so good. And here we're gonna say HTTP request builder get host. Export. Get method, and get sender, and the last time get timestamp. All right, so far so good. So go back here again. Now, as we said, these three fields are mandatory. So what do we do with the rest? Actually, quite simple. All we have to do, first of all, let's fix this one. New HTTP request, this, and we do return HTTP request. Or we can even simplify it and make it like something like this. Awesome. Okay, so what do we do with the rest of the optional parameters, optional fields, sorry? We do the following. And for some reason, I misplaced the constructor. Okay. We do the following. So, for example, public, we're returning HTTP request builder add params. Add params. So this dot params equals params. Okay. Return this. Public add method string method and this method equals method, return this. Next, sender and timestamp. Add sender, 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 and sender. And the last one, add timestamp, right? Yep. Timestamp, timestamp, timestamp. All right. So as you can see, our HTTP request builder class is done. Let's go to HTTP request and implement its method. So public public string send. Okay. And by sending this, we're gonna say so sending HTTP request. Okay. Actually, wait. Okay. So how do we use this stuff? Fairly easy. Here, what we do is the following. So first we need to build a builder to instantiate a builder. So we do HTTP request builder, HTTP request builder equals new HTTP request builder. Parameters that we assign. So for example, local host port 8080 and resource path API. Okay. Now next thing, we create our actual so okay, we've got our builder. We can either already create our HTTP request equals new HTTP request HTTP request builder, not new but HTTP request builder. Okay, and let's see if our HTTP request can actually send something. Let's see. Okay. Send HTTP request. Okay. So now let's try to take advantage of the builder design pattern, and instead of instantiating our HTTP request in such a way, let's do something like, okay, this is pretty much all we need. Let's try. Okay, so as we said, we do have some mandatory values to provide. Let's try to use some additional parameters, like let's say add method, add sender, add timestamp. Okay, so add sender equal add method post add timestamp today, and let's reformat our code. Okay, okay, let's try to run our code again, and it's working perfectly fine. Just as a proof of concept, let's do something like send HTTP request, and we do HTTP let's use what we use in port host plus subcon plus port plus / plus resource path and HTTP request by request sent by sender. Okay, let's go and try again. Awesome. So as you can see, all the data that was added in addition to our mandatory parameters is registered correctly and can be used later on. This is it, guys. So this is the one of the most simplistic ways to demonstrate usage of the builder design pattern. In upcoming videos, I will try also to explain such concepts as static factory pattern and chain of responsibility patterns. Stay tuned. Please like and subscribe. Thank you. Bye bye.